The time has come! The time has come in multiple different ways, and when it comes down to it, I finished watching Kuroinu just to, talk about it for a video because I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, solely because I always see it to be viewed as one of the classics in modern day Jentai. It's one of those hitters that people love to see all the time. People can't get enough of this hot elf chick right here, and to keep it very much a stack, meh. It's just okay. I know, right? For me to say that it's just okay. The hell type of drugs are you on? I'm on none. I have none whatsoever. But when it comes down to it, it's just okay. It's not really that great for me personally, right? I have seen so many times people bring up Kuroinu in 5 different ways, talking about how amazing the characters are, how great the scenes are, and stuff like that. And while I will agree, the scenes definitely do hit in certain ways, but I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I don't know if it's because I've seen the scenes a million times over when I'm just casually searching for stuff. I don't know if it's literally just, the animation quality. I don't know if it's just, maybe the characters themselves ain't hitting hard. But for me, it's just an okay experience. I don't think it has that legendary classic status like a lot of people will claim it to be. Personally, I just don't think it hits that hard. And I think one big part of it is easily the scenario of how things kind of are, right? So obviously, for people that may not necessarily pay attention to the plot, because of course you don't, you're just here to jack. But when it comes down to it though, essentially the plot is like, you got these 2 different, I guess like kingdoms essentially. You got the kingdom of the dark elf, you got the kingdom of these humans, and these, other elf creatures and characters that kind of exist with the humans and whatever when it comes down to it, right? So there's like this war that's been going on for like 700 years, but then some people from the human side basically said, F this war, we're gonna do something a bit different, basically abandon that nation, and then essentially create their own new nation, which is like Kuroinu, the Black Dogs, which took me to episode 3 to figure out that's the reason why the title is named the way it is. So trash on my part. But when it comes down to it though, essentially you got that whole Black Dogs nation ran by this dude named Bolt, and essentially all they're gonna do is try to make a new nation and expand that hoe and basically make it where men could just clap cheeks whenever the hell they want to, and women must serve under them in all shapes and forms, doing nothing but basically being toys for everybody. That's essentially the whole damn plot, and that's essentially what you're gonna get into and you're gonna see. Yes, like certain female characters gonna have like the mini plots that they will have, like, oh, they're related to this character, or they're, they got a correlation with this character in some shape or form, or they're doing something over here with a little bit of plot over there. Like a little bit when it comes down to it, maybe the visual novel will, explain a bit more if you play it. But ultimately though, it's just kind of not an interesting plot, right? Or at least the scenario is not done in an interesting sort of way. Because I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Again, I've seen these scenes for years now, and I thought for a long time, oh, these elves have powers. Why the hell are they not using their powers against them? But then it's explained a little bit, like, oh, for instance, Olga does have power, but her power is also being drained and leashed off by bolts when it comes down to it. So that's why, it's not really her being able to do anything. So, okay, that's understandable, I guess, for a reason. And granted, ultimately, it is a Jentai at the end of the day. All Jentai main importance is essentially just, which female character is getting clapped and how they're gonna get clapped. That's just how it is. Like, it doesn't matter what the character has, how big and powerful they are claimed to be. At the end of the day, if you're designed to get clapped, you're in a scenario for that situation, that's basically the main goal, and that's literally it. And then they even explain it a little bit more and be like, well, more new smaller nations kind of came through, and so they were kind of getting overwhelmed by the numbers of the people from the Black Dogs than you actually have of the the humans and the other elves when it comes down to it. So it kind of was a GG's, because the big ass amount of number of people were just coming through doing whatever the hell they want to. Not to mention, it was not even just humans, it was orcs as well, goblins as well. There's just like a shit ton of people that was coming through, which also, I'm gonna have a hot take here just to keep it very much a stack. If you're gonna do the ugly bastard gimmick, if you're gonna have that as a thing, I would rather watch it be orcs just get in the cheeks of different characters than I would rather ever watch it be a regular human ugly bastard character. I feel like orcs make it manageable, right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I think that's why Time of the Asagi is okay when it comes down to the first version of what it was, because it was just like, yeah, okay, the orcs and the demons didn't look that damn bad. It's only when, you know, you get like the absolute ugliest of ugliest people in these certain shows, that's when it gets like really terrible and bad, and no one really should care that hard when it comes down to it. And you know, that's just how it is. We don't get enough orcs out here. We need more orcs and characters like that. Now obviously I did watch the first 4 episodes, which was part of the first original series, then the obvious 2 episodes of reboot of 5 and 6, which kind of really don't need to be there. The animation quality looks a lot better, but it kind of didn't need to be there because it just felt like a rewrite of the story. And then Kuroinu 2, which didn't have any connection to any of the characters from the previous one, because obviously it was like 100+ years in the future, so everybody's pretty much dead or gone at that point. And essentially that one was just okay. The obvious Empress was kind of hot, although the one scene that shocked me was genuinely dude just like, I can't get it up anymore, Empress. I'm sorry, it's kind of just, I gotta need to, you know, rest and recover for a second. And then she's like, you know what, since you got no more left that you can share from me, GGC your dick, and immediately chops that shit off with her whole ass tail. That was the one moment in this entire show where I was just like, wait, hold on now, wait a minute. I felt like, whoa, damn, you couldn't get this man a chance to recover for like 5 seconds? We just need like men need like a minute, damn. So that was kind of like how it was. It would have been a scene with Claudia that would have got me off guard too, if they didn't specify that, oh, it was just a stepfather situation, because she kept saying father. I was like, your own dad is clapping you? What kind of shit is this? But then, you know, they said it was like a stepfather. Like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense for a Jentai scenario. Granted, you can do whatever, but still, that makes way more sense when it comes down to it. Now, like I said before, there is definitely some scenes in here that was very damn good. Obviously, Olga getting clapped up was really damn good. Like, I feel like anything with Celestine in there, you know, with her getting clapped in front of her people by Volts was also like an amazing scene when it comes down to it. Really, anytime Celestine's on screen, she's really damn good. But when it comes down to it, I feel like there's a lack, as much as people is simped over like the moon when it comes down to Olga, there's not a lot of her. There's not a lot of her in the show, and I feel like that's some BS. The damn halfling didn't really get, I feel like her scenario was the worst out of everybody. I feel like she just didn't really have much to do, and they just say, well, we just need a lolly character, so let's just chuck this halfling in here and just say, oh yeah, you know, anybody can basically have a child with her or whatever, so let's just do that instead. And I feel like that's just what they did, just to have a lolly in there just because, and I feel like that's a bit boring, right? I feel like Maya was really damn good, right? I do feel like she had a really decent design. I don't think it was the best design, but I feel like she was pretty damn good for what she had. And yeah, really, I feel like the main blonde princess, or whoever princess warrior character, was exceedingly boring. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I feel like she was the most boring one out of all the entire cast. In fact, that's the one I feel like if you cut off just completely from the story, I feel like genuinely the story may be even a bit better and a bit more just greater when it comes down to it. But it's just not good. She just wasn't that good. I had no interest in her because she felt so generic. She felt so basic. To a point, it was just like, I don't care. I'm just skipping through your scenes just because, you know, it just is what it is. I'm just skipping through it just a little bit by a time because I just don't really care to see you getting clapped because you're just kind of boring to me. Also, the thing I found funny in this show too as well is that I don't know why or who is in charge of the sound design, but why is it every single time somebody about to end up busting a load inside one of these characters, why did it sound like a damn shotgun going off? It didn't make any sort of sense. It was just really funny, and it caught me off guard like a few times before, and I was just like, okay, somebody clearly liked guns apparently, and they just said, F it, we evolve, we're just gonna have somebody, I guess a dick is kind of like a gun, so if you just explode it out a bit, it can pop off like a shotgun since there's so much gushing out everywhere, so let's just go ahead and have it like that, I guess. I don't know who was in the studio for that, but It was hilarious. But yeah, ultimately though, this show was just okay. I didn't really care too much for it. And again, there's some scenes that was good, but I didn't really care that hard for it overall. There is way, if somebody says like, oh yeah, this is the best Jentai to ever be made, it is the best classic one, I would definitely argue that's not the case. I would definitely say there is other shows that is way more hotter and it has even more better designs than the cast that you see in Kuroinu. I'm just gonna keep it very much that. Yeah, Olga is legendary. Celestine is legendary when it comes down to it, right? I can even make the claim and stake for someone like, you know, the Halfling could be very much good because our scene was just straight up just crazy. But when it comes down to it though, I don't feel like it was a good classic. Just because it's classic doesn't mean it's a good classic when it comes down to it, right? Would I compare, if I were to compare something to some, you know, I guess like a Bible Black, even though I never watched that show and probably won't ever really want to watch that show, essentially, I could compare the scenes to that, and I'm like, Bible Black had way better scenes of clapping than what Kuroinu had, right? The scenario of it is not necessarily that great either in Kuroinu, so I don't really care that damn much. It could be good if you'd done it well, but it wasn't done well. Honestly, it genuinely wasn't. And you have the tags in there where it's just like you're forcing yourself on you know, different characters clapping cheeks by force, but then it's not really, it feels like it's not really, I feel like it's used decently. It wasn't used the greatest though, but it was just used decently. Like, you could have gone way more crazier. I don't know. Again, when I'm thinking of a scene where you're gonna have some rap hate in there, immediately my brain goes to some good quality shit, like, you know, Tamasagi's first version with the crazy cameras, and, you know, things where you have like, I don't know, like there's just way more better animation that is out there than what Kuroinu provided for. And a part of it kind of makes me sad because it's like, this is kind of like the show that Olga and Celestine and that Halfling is going to be just basically chalked up to when it comes down to it. I would definitely have loved to seen, you know, those couple of characters, Maya even as well, to get clapped in like a different show or a different, or done by different hands, because I just don't feel like the scenes were that damn good and the story wasn't that damn hitting when it comes down to it. And then as you get into like 5, 6, and then obviously like the Kuroinu 2 situation of the show, it just kind of didn't feel that great when it comes down to it. Like, the animation quality was a step up, but outside of that, that's kind of about it in terms of how it visually looks. But I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect it either, because again, those different female characters were very much, yeah, for sure. And yes, there was definitely some war in the pants when it come down to it. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it was whack completely, but it could be better. But yeah, personally, I'm just gonna give it like a 6 out of 10 for me personally. I just don't really care too much for Kuroinu. I thought it was gonna be good, and it kind of just ended up not being that good. It was just okay. But that's essentially all I got to really say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow my socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.